Hi you guys, I hope you are all doing well. Today I really wanted to talk to you about some reasons why your hair might not be growing or why you might feel like your hair isn't growing. Before we get into it, I just want to remind you that everybody's hair grows at different rates and it really depends on your genetics, on your lifestyle, where you live. There's so many different factors that can impact your rate of growth each month and how much hair you shed each month or how much you lose each month to breakage. So I know it can be hard not to, but really try not to compare your own hair growth to the hair growth you see on other people, like on Instagram or here on YouTube or anything like that, even people in your own life like your friends and family, because everybody is different. Even if you're related, it's going to be different. I also want to remind you that constantly being like obsessive with your hair or paying attention to how much it's grown each month can kind of make it feel like it's not growing or like it's growing really slowly, when in reality it's just because you're so used to looking at it all the time. Especially once it gets past a certain length, I feel like it's really hard to see differences month to month unless you're taking progress pictures and actually measuring your hair. So again, just remember that everyone grows at a different rate per month, so try to be patient with yourself and enjoy the journey. It's supposed to be fun as well. So with all that being said, let's get into some reasons why your hair might not be growing as much as you'd like it to. So the first reason I feel like is pretty obvious, and that is usually due to breakage. So obviously your hair grows from your roots, but if you're experiencing a lot of breakage down at the ends of your hair, you won't be retaining as much of the length or any of the length that you get each month. So if you're growing half an inch each month from your roots and then you lose an inch to breakage each month, it's really going to feel like your hair is not growing at all, even though you are still growing that half an inch, but you're losing more than what you're growing. So the easiest way to prevent that is to prevent breakage, and that is definitely easier said than done, but one way that you can do that is by making sure that you're getting regular trims. Getting trims every like 2 to 6 months can really help to eliminate breakage and help you to retain more of your length. How frequently you get trims is really personal and up to you. Again, it really depends on how much growth you get each month on your own and how much breakage you experience, so try not to compare that to others. When I was growing my hair out, I would get my hair trimmed every 6 months and I take off like an inch or so. But now that I'm at my goal length and I'm just trying to maintain my length, I get a trim about every 2 months. So again, it really depends on your preferences and what your goals are. There are tons of different things that we do to our hair daily that we might not even realize we're doing that do cause breakage. So if you're looking for some easy ways to prevent breakage, one of my favorite ways is to wear my hair in protective styles when I'm sleeping or when I'm out and about. For me, the easiest is a braid or a bun with a hair stick. I find both of those to be really gentle on my hair and scalp. I don't have any pulling or any headaches from them, and they tend to keep my ends protected. More so buns than braids, but braids are a really great way to prevent tangles and to prevent my hair just from getting all like frizzy and matted, especially throughout the night and like in the winter time here. So I'd really recommend finding some protective styles that work well for you, that you can wear at nighttime or during the day or both, that will prevent your hair from friction, from rubbing against fabric and other things in your day-to-day life and breaking that way. And I know you guys probably hear this one all the time, but avoiding heat styling and chemical processing are some other ways that you can really eliminate how much damage that your hair is getting. If you are someone who is experiencing a lot of breakage, I'd really recommend cutting out the heat and the chemical processing completely for a little while, just until you can kind of get your hair back to its healthy state, and then you can kind of figure out what your routine needs to look like in order for you to safely heat style and color your hair. Another reason why you might not be noticing as much hair growth is that the products you're using aren't working for your hair type. And this is something I actually experienced during my hair journey, because when I used to have really damaged hair, I was using products that were targeted towards curlier or thicker hair, and I felt that those products were more moisturizing and more reparative for my hair. And while they might have been working well for me when my hair was damaged, once I brought my hair to a more healthy state, I really didn't need that type of heavy-duty treatment on my hair anymore, and I was still using those products. So I was experiencing a lot of buildup. My hair was starting to feel gummy and waxy and weighed down, and I couldn't figure out why my hair wasn't thriving anymore. I was treating my hair like it was high porosity, when in reality I have more low to medium porosity hair. So making the switch to lighter weight products that were still moisturizing but weren't weighing my hair down really made a huge difference in my journey and kind of refreshed it and showed me the results that I was getting before. So whether your hair is not getting what it needs from your products, or if you're getting too much of a good thing, both of those things can be causing you to not notice as much growth, or it could even cause scalp irritation, dandruff, and in some cases shedding or hair loss. So it's important to do some research on your hair type and to really understand your hair type and understand what it is that you need from your products. And this does take some trial and error. It's normal to have to switch products around and figure out what works best for you, but once you find what works for you, I would recommend sticking with it and reassessing your hair every few months to see if those needs have changed. And this leads me right into the next reason why you might be struggling with your hair, and that is maintaining scalp health. So your scalp obviously is the basis of your hair growth, and if your scalp isn't healthy, it's going to be really hard for it to host healthy, strong hair. And again, with the products, if you are using the wrong products for your hair and scalp, you might be experiencing a lot of buildup. So if you're not clarifying your scalp frequently enough or properly, you might be experiencing things like buildup. Your hair might look greasier than normal if you don't have a greasy scalp normally. You might be experiencing dandruff or like flakiness. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's dry skin. It could just be a buildup of grease and product. And again, in some extreme cases, you could be experiencing extra hair fall or shedding. If you are somebody who likes to use a lot of product on your hair, or dry shampoo or hairspray or anything like that around your roots, it's really important that you are clarifying your scalp regularly. Or if you are somebody who has a naturally oily scalp, you might need to wash your hair more frequently than someone who has a dry scalp naturally. So again, this really goes back to understanding your hair type and your scalp type and figuring out what works best for you, both product-wise and routine-wise. Another way to maintain a healthy scalp is to do scalp treatments. You guys know I'm a huge fan of scalp treatments, whether they be oil treatments or more hydrating treatments like flaxseed gel or aloe vera gel. Scalp treatments can really help to nourish and hydrate the skin on your scalp and your roots of your hair, as well as strengthen them if that's what you need at your root. But they can also really help to stimulate new growth if there are stimulating ingredients. And when you are applying a scalp treatment, it's really easy to throw in a good little scalp massage, which is super relaxing and it feels really good, but it can also really help to stimulate growth and promote blood flow to the scalp. I usually like to just do this with my fingers, but some people like to use like a scalp massager brush in the shower while they're applying their shampoo, and this can also really help to exfoliate the scalp gently and clarify it, so you kind of kill two birds with one stone in that way. So find which method works best for you and try to incorporate it into your routine, but keep in mind you don't want to over exfoliate or clarify your scalp because that can lead to other issues like over drying and just irritating it. So try to find a happy medium and what works best for you. Another reason why you might not be experiencing much hair growth is stress, and this one is really big, and this one personally impacted me a few years ago. When you go through a lot of stress, your body kind of goes into panic mode and your hair and skin can really suffer. Finding some ways to manage your stress is not only good for your hair growth, but also for your overall well-being and mental health too. Extended periods of stress can also lead to extra shedding or hair loss too, so if you are dealing with that, that could be one of the reasons. And the final reason why you might be experiencing a lot of hair loss or stunted growth could be a nutritional deficiency or a hormonal imbalance. And this is where your doctor would come into play. If you feel like you're taking care of your hair properly in every other way and you're still not experiencing the results that you were hoping for, or you're still losing more hair than what you think is normal, then it's always a good idea to go to your doctor and get some blood work done. Hormonal imbalances are a huge reason why so many people struggle with their hair. Even if you're on like a birth control or a certain type of medication, that could also impact your hair growth or your hair loss. So if you're unsure, it's always best to go to your doctor, because at that point there's not much that you can do externally. And it's always better to know if there's something going on internally and having a professional help you out. If you are experiencing a nutritional deficiency, your doctor might be able to recommend some supplements for certain vitamins or help you to figure out a better dietary plan that works for you. But generally speaking, making sure that you're eating enough and that you are eating nutrient-dense foods, lots of fruits and vegetables, and that you're drinking a lot of water. This is not only good, again, for your hair growth, but for your overall well-being and mental health. Before we finish up, I just wanted to remind you guys that it is normal to lose around 150 to 200 strands of hair per day. So if you are someone who experiences a lot of shedding, especially when you brush or when you wash your hair or oil your hair, it's most likely normal unless you're noticing more than what is normal for you. That is when it's a good cause for concern. But again, it's not really helpful to compare your hair shedding to other people because everybody is different. Everyone's going to lose a different amount of hair per day, and again, it really depends on genetics, lifestyle, if you're going through stress, if you're on a certain medication, what your diet's been like there are so many different factors, even the climate. Like some people shed more in the winter, some people shed more in the summer. So really, it's not helpful to compare your hair loss to anybody else's, and it's really only a cause for concern if you're noticing more than what is normal for you. And if that's the case, again, it's always the best idea to start off by going to see your doctor so you can make sure that there's nothing going on internally. But I really hope you guys found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments if there are any other reasons you've noticed that you feel like your hair is not growing as often. It's always great when you guys help each other out in the comments, so please feel free to leave any of your own advice down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys would like to see next, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!